Coral Shellington woke up to the soft ping-ping of her sea slug alarm clock and the realization that she had only 3 hours before her biggest live stream of the year. Today, she would unveil Pearl Glow Cosmetics' new Biolum Shimmer Palette to her 3.2 million Splash Talk followers, and the brand had promised her a year's supply of imported Surface World mascara if she hit 250,000 concurrent viewers. Coral flicked her turquoise tail, vaulted out of bed, and went straight to her vanity, a polished abalone slab ringed with lanternfish bulbs. She puckered her lips, practiced a coy smile, then exhaled a burst of nervous bubbles. "Okay, Coral," she told her reflection. "You've got this. Contour, comedy, conversion rate, the holy Triton Trinity." From the next room, her production assistant, a pink freckled octopus named Rollo, poked one tentacle around the doorway. "Morning, boss. Want kelp fee?" "Triple shot," she said. "Make it extra frothy. We need all 8 of your limbs firing today." Rollo slithered off, leaving Coral to glide into her studio. A hollowed-out giant clam outfitted with ring lights, a backdrop of faux coral. It looked tacky to use real coral on camera. Sustainability mattered to the fans. And her prized possession, a second-generation Tide phone hooked to an iridescent router shaped like a blowfish. The router, manufactured by Seascape Telecom, was supposed to deliver lightning-fast currents of data, yet recently it had been more like a gentle eddy. Buffering wheels haunted her dreams. She wiggled the antenna, a spiral shell perched on top, and the router let out a disgruntled squeak. The little blowfish glowered at her, cheeks expanding defensively. "Don't you dare deflate on me today," she muttered. "Do I send a heavy giant point score to me today?" she muttered. 2 hours later, the set was ready. Product neatly arranged, comically oversized pearl brushes fanned out, and a basket of giveaway Sea Star stickers waiting for lucky commenters. Corel draped a sequin shawl over her shoulders, while Rollo adjusted the ring light brightness. "Stream goes live in 5, Rollo announced, holding up a tentacle like a director. "I'm switching the router to krill priority mode. Supposedly boosts upload speed. Does that violate net neutrality?" "Only for plankton," he said. "We'll survive." Coral inhaled, summoned her brightest influencer voice, and hit the red "Go Live" button. She watched the viewer count climb, 2K, 20K, 60K. Comments flooded the side panel faster than sea foam on a windy day. "Hey, Fin Fam," she sang. "It's your girl, Coral Shellington, coming at you from the glimmering trenches of Reef City. Smash that conch if you can hear me," in her ear. Conch's Splash Talk standard earpiece, she heard the satisfying ding-ding of digital conches being tapped worldwide. "Perfect. And today," she continued, "we are getting our glow on with Pearl Glow's brand new Biolum Shimmer Palette. Think midnight plankton rave meets moonlit tide pools. I'm obsessed." She reached for the palette, snapped it open, and buffer. The chat stopped, the viewer count froze. Coral stared at the spinning sand dollar icon, dread soaking her scales. Rollo scrambled over. "Packet loss," he hissed. "Fix it!" He squeezed 2 tentacles into the blowfish router, poked the antenna again, and manually fanned data packets like he was cooling a pie. The feed stuttered back to life. "Sorry about that, mermaids. Had a tiny hiccup," Coral laughed, trying to style it out. The comments, however, had other ideas. "Laga Queen," one viewer typed. Another wrote, "Streams slower than a sea cucumber on vacation." A third posted a looping gif of an elderly turtle typing on a keyboard. Coral pasted on a smile that felt like freshly cured barnacle glue. "Okay, let's dive into shade number 1, phosphorescent fuchsia. Watch how it pops on my outer fin brow region." She dabbed the brush, tapped off excess. The pigment looked glorious, until the feed froze again. This time it held for 6 seconds. When it resumed, viewers saw a sudden streak of hot pink splattered from Coral's brow down to her cheek, like a rogue squid had sneezed. The comment tsunami hit. "Art attack? Girl, you okay? Is that the new abstract clownfish look?" Coral's gills flushed crimson. Over her shoulder, Rollo mouthed, "We're at 180K viewers, hold 'em." She swallowed, kept going. Pro tip, if you over-apply pigment, just buff it out with a damp sea sponge. She grabbed one, only to realize it was still alive. It wriggled, coughed up a jet of water, and squirmed away, leaving an even bigger smear down her jaw. The chat lost it. Strings of crying with laughter emojis scrolled by. Coral chuckled gamely. See, folks, makeup is a journey. Buffer. This time, nothing would coax the router back. The blowfish's eyes rolled upward as though it had fainted. Rollo slapped it. It hissed, belched a bubble, and powered down completely. Livestream. Ended. Silence. Coral stared at the dead screen. Well, Barnacles. Rollo laid a sympathetic tentacle on her shoulder. Could be worse. We still have 20 minutes before the sponsorship slot is officially voided. Maybe we can reboot? How? The network is slower than the Royal Sea Turtles Census website? Maybe it's congestion, Rollo mused. Krill migration season. All those GPS pings clogging the bandwidth. Great. I'm being out-uploaded by crustaceans. Rollo brightened. We could tether to a surface device. I think the goals are on 5G. Sky data. Won't the salt spray fry the signal? Only if it rains sharks. Coral weighed her options. If she missed this launch, her follower count would plummet, and Pearl Glow would dump her for that smug siren Sephira who never had Wi-Fi problems because she lived in a sunken pirate ship outfitted with fiber optics. Coral set her jaw. Get me a seabird and some string, we're improvising. 5 minutes later, they were on the terrace of Coral's grotto. The turquoise expanse above them shimmered with sunlight and distant boats. Rollo waved the last of his kelpie to lure a curious seagull named Kevin, who swooped down and landed on the railing. Kevin eyed them suspiciously. Caw? Coral produced a bag of gourmet surface chips, sea salt flavored ironically, and offered one. Kevin gobbled it, burped, and looked amenable. Kevin, darling, Coral cooed, attaching her Tide phone to a waterproof drone case and then tying the case to Kevin's ankle with the ribbon of eelgrass. I just need you to hover near the surface and hold perfectly still for, say, 40 minutes. Kevin blinked, maybe considering an agency contract. Then he flapped upward, ascending toward the realm of high-speed cellular. Back in the studio, Coral and Rollo watched the phone reconnect. Bars climbed. 1, 2, 4, 5. Coral exhaled relief. We're back, baby. Rollo counted her in. 3, 2, 1, live. Hey again, Tide Tribe, Coral chirped, returning to the exact frame where she had frozen. She pretended nothing had happened. Just gave the feed a little exfoliation break, remove dead pixels. The viewer counter surged. People apparently loved chaos. 220K, 230K, 240K. Now, as I was saying, Biolum shimmer blends like a dream. She demonstrated, this time without freeze-frame disasters. The chat applauded, even the scathing commenters were impressed by her recovery. But 10 minutes in, Coral heard a faint squawk through her ear conch. Kevin, high above, was under attack by an irate albatross who wanted the drone case as nest decor. The phone jolted, the angle skewed, and Coral's face slid halfway out of frame. Rollo, she hissed, the goal's getting mugged. I'll handle it. He zipped out, leaving her to stall. Let's, answer some Q&A while I do a quick lip shimmer. She grabbed the Pearl Pout gloss, unscrewed the cap, and then saw a delayed question on the chat. Show us your morning routine bloopers, Coral laughed artificially. Maybe one day, in the distance muffled shouting, Kevin, drop the phone. You'll get a beak cramp. A few seconds later, the feed jostled again. Kevin must have spun. Coral's picture rotated 90 degrees, giving everyone a diagonal view of her left gill. Rollo, hurry! The chat once more devolved into lulls, but the viewer count actually rose past 260K. People were screen recording the mayhem. Memes would be born within hours. Coral decided to lean in. While my assistant negotiates airspace rights, let's talk underwater connectivity. A lot of you ask how I stream from 30 fathoms down. The answer is with extreme stubbornness and mild sea witchcraft. She winked dramatically, trying to turn incompetence into a bit. It worked. Hearts floated on the side panel. Suddenly the phone stabilized. Rollo's voice crackled. It's secure. Albatross signed a non-compete. Keep rolling. Coral pivoted to the product again. She showcased glowing guppy green, then blended moon jelly mauve into her crease. The colors shimmered like a nocturnal coral bloom. Comments raved until the latency monster attacked from a new angle. Now the video was fine, but the audio fell out of sync. Coral's lips moved, yet her voice reached listeners 3 seconds later, creating an accidental ventriloquist act. Some viewers typed, "Sound travels slower underwater." Others just spammed clapping emojis for the unintentional comedy. She pressed on, "For our grand finale, we're adding biolum shimmer to the cheekbones for that just escaped a shipwreck radiance." She swiped product along her cheeks, then angled toward a ring light. The highlight ignited like stardust. Buffer. Not again. But this time something new appeared. A notification that rival_Ursula Ray had requested to join the stream. Ursula Ray was a tentacle-wearing cephalopruner influencer who specialized in passive-aggressive ASMR. She'd probably heard about Coral's technical woes and smelt blood in the water. Accepting would be suicidal unless Coral flipped the narrative. She hit accept. Ursula Ray materialized in split screen, perched on a stack of stolen treasure chests, face beat to Poseidon's palace and connection crystal clear. "Hey, Seashell," Ursula trilled. "Everything okay? Your feeds looked patchy." Coral smiled sweetly, though her molars ground like tectonic plates. "Thanks for checking in, you Ray. Had a micro glitch, but we're thriving." Adorable. Ursula's gaze flicked to Coral's cheeks. Love that asymmetrical highlight, very avant-garde. Coral felt heat crawl up her neck. Buffering had indeed left her shimmer uneven. The chat drooled over the catfight brewing. If she lashed out, Ursula would screenshot and ruin her. She took a breath. "You know, Ursula, since you're here, why not show the audience how you'd apply biolum shimmer?" Ursula blinked. "I don't have it yet." "Ah, supply chain delay," Coral cooed. "No worries. I'll overnight you a palette." "Oh wait, you're not on Pearl Glow's PR list?" The chat exploded. Shade thrown like a volcanic eruption. Ursula's smile faltered. "I have an exclusive with Kraken Chic actually, but good for you. They sponsor mid-tier creators, very inclusive." Coral's jaw tightened. She could hear Rollo in her ear. "Viewer peak, 280K. Time to finish strong." "Speaking of inclusivity," Coral said brightly, "let's give some away. First 5 people to type "no buffer zone" get a free biolum shimmer." The chat erupted with frantic typing. That overshadowed Ursula, whose face pixelated an ironic karmic glitch on her supposedly perfect connection. "Looks like you're lagging, Ursula," Coral said innocently. "Maybe reconnect." Ursula's screen froze on a derp face. Coral ended the guest call, blew a kiss to the camera, and turned her grin on the audience. "Okay, lovely sea sprites, final look check." She swiveled slowly, highlight beaming, eyeshadow painting galaxies, lip gloss plumping luxuriously. Even with tech drama, oceanic latency, and unexpected airspace conflicts, we did it. Remember, waves will rock you, but you control your own current. The viewer counter rolled past 300K. Rollo popped a confetti sea urchin. Tiny harmless spines shot toward the ceiling and dissolved into glitter. "Sponsorship secured," he whooped off screen. Coral clasped her hands. "Thank you, Pearl Glow, for turning my dream into a luminous reality." Check the link in my kelp bar for discounts, and as always, stay fabulous, stay fluid, and stay connected. Eventually. She signed off. The second the feed ended, Coral sagged onto a coral stool. Her tail flopped like a deflated pool float. Rollo handed her a mug of iced seaweed latte. "Queen of the lag," he teased. "I aged 10 years," she groaned. "Do mermaids get wrinkles?" "Only if we laugh too hard," which today's chat certainly did. They stared at the unconscious blowfish router lying nose down on the console. "I'm switching providers," Coral vowed. "Maybe Starfish Net. They claim whales can't throttle their speed. Or we install fiber optic kelp. The surface folks call it sea-finity." She shuddered. "Cables? Just the thought gives me surface dweller anxiety." Still, can't keep relying on Kevin. From outside came a triumphant caw. Kevin fluttered in, carrying the drone case, now pecked with claw marks. He dropped it and demanded more chips. "Payment for services rendered," Coral said, tossing him a handful. "But you're not getting a residual." As Kevin flapped away, Rollo pulled up the post-stream analytics on a spare Tide tablet. Comments 97% positive, engagement through the roof, even your accidental sea sponge slap is trending as squishy blend. Coral buried her face in her hands. I'm a meme. A lovable, monetizable meme. Pearl Glow wants to sponsor a follow-up Tech Trouble to glow up behind the streams. She peeked through her fingers. As long as they also send a new router. Already shipping. Overnight Seahorse. Coral sighed, half resignation, half relief. Maybe I should lean into the chaos vibe. Authenticity sells, Rollo nodded sagely. Own the lag you wish to see in the world. She giggled. That's terrible advice. Possibly. He checked his watch. We still have to film the short-form blooper reel. Want to stage a fake disconnect for comedic effect? She grabbed the living sea sponge. Let's not fake anything. Reality is plenty weird. They set up a quick recording. Coral perched in front of the camera, Sponge perched on her shoulder like a demented parrot. Hello again, Ocean Internet. Coral here. In case you missed it, today's look was sponsored by Technical Difficulties and Emotional Resilience. She mimed buffering by swirling a finger in front of her face. The sponge spat water on cue. Coral laughed so hard she inhaled a bubble and started coughing. Authentic indeed. After the shoot, they unhooked lights and stowed pallets. Coral flopped onto a seaweed beanbag staring up at luminescent barnacle lights. You know what, she said. I still love this job, even though it's ridiculous. Rollo chuckled. Comedy plus cosmetics equals cash. Maybe tomorrow we do a collab stream with Kevin. Surface Birds taste test plankton smoothies. Could go viral. Only if the Wi-Fi holds. Coral gazed at the comatose blowfish router, then at her reflection in a drifting shard of mirror. The biolume shimmer shimmered. Despite microcrises, her makeup looked phenomenal. Here's to imperfect currents, she murmured. She lifted an imaginary glass toward the router. Bufferless, dream more. Rollo raised his own mug. Kevin, from the rafters, squawked in agreement. Somewhere, data packets swam faster, maybe inspired by her grit or more likely by Seascape Telecom's overnight maintenance. Either way, Coral Shellington, Mare-influencer extraordinaire, prepared to ride whatever waveform tomorrow hurled at her, palette in hand, ring light ready, and maybe, just maybe, a brand new router waiting on her doorstep, delivered by Express Seahorse. Because even under 30 fathoms of seawater, the show and the glow must go on.